go to the Historical Society. We're the Clarksburg Museum.
This way?
Yeah. Because they've stole people from us before.
What is that over there?
Huh?
What is that?
What?
You said it was-
No, the Historical Society's right here. And normally they'll grab, if they got their door open, people think this is the museum instead of straight ahead. And they'll grab our people and they end up getting going through there and then we come through Clarksburg Road.
Right here, sir?
Yeah.
May he have a sucker?
Huh?
Yeah.
That's what they're
You
there
want us
for.
to sign in?
Yes, please. He can have all he wants of those things.
Alright, won't tell him that, he'll eat count.
Well, looks like you're eating instead of him though.
Somebody want to sign in?
I think you started out there right there at the flag. No, you can't see the flag, right here at the flag.
On the wall, right?
On
Yeah,
the
go
wall.
that way.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I thought.
signed all three of us.
We
Dad.
started out here, the
Did
west,
you hear you?
this is the Clarksburg flag for our town here. And they did away with this Clarksburg flag. They went to this new production flag. And people didn't care for this, so they went back to this flag.
I think I've seen that before. I've never seen that.
I don't think I've seen either one of them.
I didn't either until I got to the museum.
That's what I was just thinking. I didn't know there was such a thing as a.
Wanna make a left?
Clarksburg
To your
flag.
left?
Yeah.
That's gold up to the-
That baseball field over at the park, it's named after that man right there.
Frank Williams.
The big field that all the kids,
About
you see the
all that
players on.
stuff. Got me nuts with that stuff.
We have a guy here, he does radios. He restores radios. This is actually a radio, you don't even need a battery. This is like the Boy Scouts used to build. Except we use the cardboard tube, which gives you a better speaker. He's put PVC pipe in there. I really don't know how it sounds, because we can't put an antenna up with all this concrete and steel. We can't get nothing. But he restores these radios to working condition.
We got two of these jackets.
With school jackets?
Yeah, I got the Victory one and we got the Victory one in our closet and the RW one.
Did this come out of the Rose Garden?
The Robinson Grant.
Robinson Grant, I mean?
Yeah. We had Jay Leno come in, and when he come in, we did a photo op. And this is one of his cars, Jay Leno. This is after they restored it. Which I'm kind of, it's not what I was when I went to school. I mean, when I was a kid, the pay windows weren't here. It was inside. And the candy place was across from it. The popcorn machine, where you put the bag, your own bag in it,
Mm-hmm.
was across there. And everything was right here, but not here. And there was a few other things they did inside, but they did it because they needed wheelchair ramps and they
Yeah.
needed other things. So it's been kind of changed around a little bit. But
They're
it's still
going there
nice building.
tonight, actually.
Yeah? What are you
Yeah.
gonna see?
Mark Wills.
Oh, okay.
He was supposed to be what, a month ago? And then he canceled it. We got one of these in my closet.
I know, Mom. I've seen it.
Okay.
Just thinking, been in one room school, your teacher would have had to fire up the stove for you in the morning.
Or make you do it.
Yeah,
go
make you
fetch-
do it.
Fetch the firewood. No,
We'd carry the wood in,
there's a 76.
let the teacher do the burning.
This is in like the 90s or something.
Look at this.
When did you go to school?
72.
So you were
Victory.
big. Never mind.
Look at the name on this jacket, Mom.
I was 75 WI.
It's in cursive too.
Sammy Joe.
That's my name.
Sammy Joe?
Samuel Joseph.
Yeah, they're all
What's,
Sam's.
What's the year on that?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Get out of your way. I like this. It's cute.
92 or? It should have been on the left sleeve. You had it, but you only got the two.
You think that's the year, you think that's the year or his number?
It says 32.
I
You think they even
think that
had
was
golf
his
in
number.
30? That's probably
That
not.
should have been a number.
Should have been his number, shouldn't
That's
it?
football.
That's a football. That's a golf bag.
Oh, I thought maybe it was Sam Carruth.
Did he go to Notre Dame?
Yeah.
I
Did he
think started
graduate?
out- I think
I
he
could be
started
Sam
out
Carruth.
Well, that age,
Jacket.
he was awful familiar on Sammy Joe from school. I can't remember anything about it.
He owns that Black Dog Construction, Sam Carrot's.
Yeah.
That could be his jacket. I bet this is Marsh's.
I think that was her
Yeah.
brother's. Her-
And Billy
I
on.
mean, that's not her maiden name, or her married name, right? It's her maiden name.
Yeah.
Marsha Bilionco.
And what is this, RW?
That's RW. Hilltop.
Maybe a Mark. Yeah, that's not Marsh's. That's not Marsh's.
I think.
Hey, we got a lot of victories.
Did she have a brother?
Marcus?
I don't think her son played sports like that. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I don't know.
There's a 75 Liberty.
Was that her son's name, Marcus?
I believe. That's a Van Horn shirt.
Here, Grandma will take it.
But that's not.
I don't think her son's name was Marcus. I can't.
He,
You had another desk like this one that sat behind this. That way you had a person in front of you and you were right behind them. And you could pick on the girl in front of you. You don't need to be taking pictures of me.
He's a YouTube star.
Oh,
He films everything. Everything.
Clarksburg was glass factory.
That's a famous dish.
My wife, her both sets of grandparents were building glass cutters. They all worked
There's
at,
Adamson Flat.
oh yes, they worked Adams and Anchor Hocking,
Anchor
all
Hocking.
those.
Look, there's a guy
Continental
looking at you.
Can.
Yep, Continental Can, my stepfather worked there too. We had to put a little bit of our Italian festival together because they really didn't bring us nothing since they canceled again this year. That's our Jackson room over there, Stonewall Jackson to the left. We're still always adding stuff to it, people bringing stuff in. We had to take the heads off the mannequins because they supposedly was scaring the kids.
Oh, gracious.
And I'm going, I'm more scared of the headless one, man.
That's ridiculous.
What did the heads look like?
Huh?
What did the heads look like?
Just regular old heads.
Like a doll baby
Don't
head.
scare me.
Like a doll baby head.
You got a cannon there to your left.
Well, I think I seen one of these in like at the place, like one of the buildings in the little town.
You're missing all the exhibits.
Oh, I know one of these things that they're like in games, Call of Duty games and stuff.
I have most of Call of Duty stuff. If you play Call of Duty.
I play Call of Duty.
Huh?
I play Call of Duty World at War and Black Ops and stuff.
Because my kids had me take them to the range one day since I got 90% of Call of Duty.
I was just in.
We have Civil War stuff right here in these cases. It shows things how that you work things in a coal mine. Like if you're using a breast auger, you would press against that to drill holes into the wall, maybe to sink dynamite to blow, or show you how you got on your knees using a pick, showing you how small the mine shaft is. This would be a copy of like what you would have to go through a mine shaft back here. No, you press against that with your chest. And then you would rotate the... I got him over here. go this way, it'd be easier to get that.
It's right here.
Hey, there's something over here you really like. You're
Okay.
into this kind of stuff.
What's the end?
There was a serial killer that lived in Clarksburg for a long time ago.
Is that like Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No. But his name was Harry Powers. Make sure you get that real good. His name was Harry Powers, and he wrote letters to women in the newspaper and told them that he wanted to marry them, and they'd come to Clarksburg to marry him, and then he'd take all their money and kill them.
There was a man over there, he said, my
And then
grandfather.
they caught him and they hung him.
He said, well, he used to fish at Suds Run, which is the creek right there beside it. And he said he was over there fishing one day and he heard screaming and crying, but he didn't check. He left, he got scared. Several days later is when he found out that the woman and the kids were murdered at that time. So he kind of lost it, but he could have got killed himself, or maybe he could have
Well,
saved
he
them.
wasn't particularly fond of
Is this
men.
old school
He
Coca-Cola
liked those women.
bottles?
Yeah. Hmm?
Are these old school Coca-Cola bottles?
No, that's beer. Coca-Cola bottles are over there. If you look over here, we had a lot of bottles from
Hey,
Clarksburg.
Mike,
Hey, how you doing?
all right.
Wait a
Because
minute.
here's one of the old Coca-Cola bottles.
Retired.
Come on. He's showing us something.
All right, here.
You said Coca-Cola
Wonderful thing,
bottles,
wonderful thing.
because all these bottles were made in Clarksburg.
Hey,
Hey, good.
A
how
little
you doing?
Coca-Cola glass bottles. And
That's my son, my
And we had
wife.
a couple businesses downtown that I used to visit as a kid, get my school
His
clothes.
name's Sam. His
Sam.
name's
Sam,
Mike.
Sam.
I'm super interested in like monsters. So what is this?
I've never
That's
seen this
the
thing.
Flatwoods monster there.
Well, that's Sam's 8.
And this guy wrote a book about flying saucers, and they used this for Men in Black a little bit.
Wow.
And he also wrote a magazine called The Caesarean, and they had UFO conventions over in the library, the old library, the Baltimore.
Okay. What is this dirty
That's
thing?
a track from a trolley car. They used to have trolleys till about 48, 49.
Oh,
So,
You ever ride the
I
trolley?
remember
No.
those tracks over Northview.
Yeah, when the pavement wears
Come on,
away, you
man,
can
This
see
gentleman right here was a boxer and a policeman.
Hamlin
I
15.
remember those when I was a kid. I lived on Golf.
I used to have all the maps because when I was in high school, I did a
He was a
report
champ.
on it. And down at the Greyhound bus station,
Yeah.
upstairs, you could get all the maps and stuff.
he has the
And I had
best
all the maps
mustache
of where the
ever.
trolley had went through for a report for high school.
Pretty good one, yeah.
So what is this little
I don't
room?
actually remember any of these
It's like fossils or something.
That's the fossil room.
Like fossils?
Yeah. A
There's
little.
dinosaur bones over here. Right here. These are dinosaur bones right here.
Wow.
And this is the West Virginia state fossil called the giant ground sloth. It lived 10,000 to 150,000 years ago, but it used to live in West Virginia. There's a little replica of it. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Back in this room, are we?
All this stuff was in a house in Salem for 30 years. They started tearing it down, started throwing it in the dumpster. I took it out of the dumpster and threw it in my car.
Wow.
And there was a lot of stuff I still have in my house that I have not yet went through.
Why did they use ropes in the military?
That was a hammock rope. See the loops back there on that piece of, this is canvas right here. Did you see the holes? You would have certain ropes in here that you would put through those holes to make your hammock. And in the ship, you would have one big area like a room, and you'd have steel poles. And then you'd hook your hammock to one and hook it to another pole. And when you got up in the morning, you would unhook one and put it back over on the second one. That way the space was open that you could use it.
First, I thought that was like a rope that you tie your enemies up.
Nope, nope.
Nope, just a place for them to sleep, buddy.
Did you see the rocking chair?
A rocking chair. Rocking chair. Rock chair.
Yeah, I've been watching it for 25 years.
You want a piece of the tour?
Look, there's the rocking chair like Grandma's got. Upstairs in the, where the computer is.
Do not sit on the chair. I would never. Baby Buggy. That's a funny name.
Yep.
Bro, first I thought that was a real person.
I'd get down on the floor and I would move everything, and then I'd move it over and look through it, and then I just went like that through the room, and when I got the other way, I went back 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, I started blowing stuff I never want to see out of my nose again. I got medical books because he was a pharmacist in Salem, first pharmacist in Salem in 1892.
Pangers
His wife was
down.
the first eye doctor. So I got
Pangers
stuff, I
down.
got medical stuff. I even found these blankets from World War I where she embroidered it with her name.
So,
I mean,
Where was this house at? I grew up in Marshville. I went to Van Horn, and I mean, I know Salem.
okay, you know
decently
the
well.
IGA,
Yeah.
the Baptist church that sits right above it.
Yeah.
There was the old house closed up right there beside the Baptist church. That's where it was.
Okay.
And then there was a little red house right beside it. That was Mrs. Ross. She was the granddaughter. She passed away. The church inherited the property and they wanted it cleaned up. So they started tearing the house down. I was in the house 25 years ago because I was a mailman in Salem for 27 years.
Okay.
And Mrs. Ross told me one day when I was delivering mail, she says, I hear you do the war thing. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, would you like to have my father's ammunition? Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks go by. She comes up to the door. She puts a little cardboard box in my hand. It disintegrated as soon as she did it. I mean, the cardboard was so dried out. 1911, 1909, 1912, dated 45 ammo. Then she gave me 3 boxes of 30-40 Craig Jorgensen ammo, which is in the plastic right there. Never been out of the box. And I looked at her, I said, Miss Ross, I said, was your father in the Great War? She said, yes. I said, ma'am, that's World War I. And then she gave me her foot locker. The coins were in the foot locker. The canteen, it's brand spanking new. The mess kit, it's been in that foot locker for 80 years. I just got lucky a little bit because the putties, which they used to wrap around their legs, the mouse had just got into the foot locker. He ate
okay, this place is too dark for me, I know.
What, honey?
In there, it's just like really dark. I think I'm gonna be in my bed. Okay, I'm gonna go through anyways. Even if I'm scared of the dark. Why do I crawl like in the Outlast game?
I got cartons and cartons of letters and stamps dated from 1890s up to about 1950. I got letters and they were even opened for some reason. I don't know why.
Swallow the
I almost threw my
fly.
shaving cup away because when I found it, it said China on it. And I was in the wrong frame of mind. I said, China. China. Then I realized, oh, World War I was on
Ooh.
they were just the China. So sometimes you gotta get in different frames.
No, just, I knew I was good friends, went to school with his, I don't know, nephew, I guess, Jimmy. They lived on Williams Avenue, too, down past the bakery on the left. But, that's how I got to know, you know, running around with Jimmy and,
I think I'm
Nice
just,
little seats, huh?
I'm just gonna say. And just go. Yeah, sandals. Sandals.
Mine, it's cold. Grasshoppers, how they drill, put dynamite, camp dynamite down in the, excuse me, coal.
Why don't you try to do that? Go over there and try to bend down
You
and
did
swing
it
it.
already.
Do it. So
I did. I tried.
Did you?
Yeah.
Here, let me do it. Could you imagine standing like this all day long
Yeah.
in the dark?
Oh
Doing
no.
You would have a little lamp on your head for a little candle light.
Oh.
And when you come out of the mine, you'd be coughing black stuff out of your lungs because the lamp, all the smoke, you were breathing in the smoke in your lungs.
Oh my
So put this
gosh.
against their chest.
So
And most of the time you'd be on your knees too now.
so this is the thing they put on their head.
Huh?
This is the thing.
That's it. Yeah.
That's one of them. Out here, there's some others. People didn't realize they actually put a bomb on their heads. Because the first ones were these little, like coffee pot shapes back there. They would put stuff into that, oils and stuff, and a wick sticking up, and they would burn that. But now these are carbide lamps. And you would have carbide, it's like a rock material that you would put in the base of that, and you would drip 1 or 2 drops of water, no more, because the carbide would start making a gas when the water come by. And that's what they lit it like with the little wick starter there from a lighter. They would start that gas. You put too much water in that, and that thing would start swelling. It's almost like putting a bomb on your head.
What about if you put a real bomb in your head and
That's-
you die?
They take a little bird down there with them too. They would.
They
And
would.
If the bird would get sick or die, they'd know that the air wasn't good and they need to get it out.
The air was foul or poison.
Mhm.
And this is PK here. This is all these squares have been
That
what
was
was.
over Glen Elk, right?
Yep.
oh yeah, Oliveria store, yeah.
Here, I'll make sure he gets a color book before.
Oh, okay.
She, a bootlegger.
Huh?
Special ed.
Oh, that's what I taught for 19 years.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
A lot of paperwork, but working with the kids.
Were you military?
What's that?
Were you military?
No.
I've got a history coloring book, so just make sure he gets.
I had a military. My thing is there. That's my expertise.
My teacher was in the military.
Huh?
My teacher was in the
He
military.
was. Who was your teacher?
Mrs. Eckstein.
Laura Eckstein. She's from Arizona. Just moved here.
Oh, okay. Because I was telling him I got all this stuff from Salem in a house that they were tearing down up by the Baptist church.
So, we go to the Baptist church.
I think he's talking about the Seventh Day.
Seventh Day, and the
Oh.
Baptist church sits there across from the IGA, the big one. And then you have the Seventh Day Church past. This was the house right beside the Seventh Day Baptist church. And there was a little red house too. Mrs. Ross had the little red house right there, single story. Well, it was actually a story and a half. And I was a mailman in Salem for 27 years. From, God, 83 to 2015.
I remember a guy like this. Remember all?
Oh, from
what the
up
heck
at
was his
college.
name?
Oh, God. He lived on Water Street. 151.
But he used to deliver mail.
Yeah, he worked the mail room up at the college.
I I can't remember his name.
I can't either
Next
now.
inside.
I know exactly where he
It's in my
lives.
shed, I don't know.
But yeah, he had his eyes. He had to keep
Yeah,
moving
you're
his
like
head
so
to keep his
handsome.
eyes.
You know what it was?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, and, I've actually talked to him a few times.
Creeps, 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 creeps.
Did you get this gun? That's a machine gun, one of the original machine guns. And they pack that clip up in there and just.
Oh, I know that in World War, and World at War.
Okay, well,
The World at War game.
yeah.
I had
Gangsters used to use guns like that.
I had that.
Tommy guns.
I had that gun in the Call of Duty World at War game. I love that gun.
Couldn't remember some things that I used every day, you know?
Mm-hmm. Don't feel alone.
After a while, after a half hour, 45 minutes, I started coming out of it, but,
Oh, my wife makes me call in all the time because she says I might be driving somewhere and I go somewhere and she says, hey, when are you coming home? Oh, home. Oh, okay. I'm driving.
I know a guy that, retired after I did, but still was younger than me.
There's a military gas mask over here.
Uh-huh. That's Israeli.
He got to the point that he'd leave the house, he liked to walk. He'd leave the
Gas
house and not
mask.
come back.
Daddy had one like that a long time ago. It's probably still in Grandma and Papa's house somewhere in the
Up West
closet.
Milford. She'd be driving all over the place up there. And, you know, find him.
My good one was walking from the bedroom and kitchen and forgetting what I could want.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
Yeah, I'm 65.
Oh no.
I'm 69.
Yeah.
Bro, these things are explosive.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm touching one.
There you go into a room and say, what'd I come in here for?
Look, look at that. You know who that is?
Yeah, I got that.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Adolf Hitler.
Well, he, looks weird. Where's this? There's
When you guys,
a little cabin place over here. Can we check it out?
Fridays and Saturdays.
just Fridays and
So
Saturdays.
here's the land that they,
We're trying to get more
Do you
time,
like
but the
the
problem
way-
is getting people in here to man the place. Cause of COVID, like this guy. I mean, as soon as COVID hit, he disappeared. 2 years, we ain't seen him. He left as he can. We've been babysitting this thing for 2 years. He took everything else out, and then I had to fill the cases up with semi stuff that I had, but I mean, most of my stuff's reproduction other than the guns.
Who owns
Steve House. He used to teach electronics over at UTC.
I bet I know him.
He does art.
I worked for the school board and I was in the maintenance and I was in and out of every building. I knew hundreds of teachers.
You probably knew my cousin Pat Mills.
Somebody should run.
His last name was Mills.
Those are
Mills.
I see him
Railroad
April
snakes.
1st.
He worked janitor.
We're having a First Friday event downtown, scavenger hunt, starting at the library if you want to come.
Okay.
We're gonna have something every first Friday
Okay.
downtown from now on, like an art show, music,
all right.
and the restaurants and businesses. But
Connected.
starting at the library on April 1st. They're gonna make bags and then there'll be a
See, I
scavenger
can't
hunt, and
remember.
they go to different places to
Throughout
get
town?
eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
there's like 12 stops, and they'll get eggs with candy.
On the 1st.
April 1st.
All right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Go with the flow.
That's
I'll see you later.
Thank you, Mike.
so. Here's a cabin room in the hallway.
Huh?
There's a cabin room in the hallway.
Yeah, down that way. Most of that stuff in there, I don't call it old because I used it when I was a kid. When
Wow.
I did hay. I
Well,
used,
I get the same feeling sometimes. Stuff that people are calling old and I think, you know,
yeah.
I used to play with that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I used to have one of them. I'd still got one of those, you know.
I used the idiot stick there. A sigh. I used it for years. And that thing is what I started cutting grass on Sycamore Street with.
My grandfather had one, but I used to cut the grass with it. over Northview.
Yeah, they wouldn't trust me with an lawnmower because they said, "Oh, you'll get hurt." I said, "Okay," and then they'd give me that thing, and I said, "No, thank you," because if you didn't keep it sharp, it wasn't worth it.
I got one of those saws, but I used it a little bit when I first moved where I live now, but I didn't use it for long.
I still use the bow saw or whatever they call it now, but cross saw.
Excuse me.
Huh?
Why does this look like blood?
That's felt. That was to put on there to protect you. It'd make it softer for you.
Yeah, more comfortable. You know what
This
that thing is?
It's what you sit when you're riding animal.
When you're riding a horse. Yeah.
But this was for a lady. The lady would sit sideways on this and put her leg up through here. Very uncomfortable for the lady because it also made her back not straight. So it wasn't very comfortable for the lady.
Then I'm male.
Yeah, and I still use my driffulator when I go out to my World War II things. Because all you got to do is boil water, put grounds in it, pour the hot water in the top. Well, shoot.
We have one of those, but I honestly don't ever remember using it.
No?
Now there's two things bad about
Now,
females.
Tell me how that woman said on
What?
that again.
You have to ride a
Kind of
horse
sit sideways.
that
She
sideways,
takes this leg
and
is
you have
hanging
to
down.
get birth.
She takes her right
Birth.
leg and puts it up here
Disgusting
and kind
birth.
of crosses over this
Ouch.
way. But the thing is, she's sitting sideways, so her back
Well, sure.
is in a twist. And if
Did you see that, Sam?
I wouldn't last 5 minutes
Oh,
like
it's-
that.
Yeah, they
Potato-
misnamed that.
Claw.
Bobsled. I didn't mean a potato plow. I meant the sled. An
Bobsled.
old-fashioned sled.
Oh. Push lawnmower.
Push lawnmower. Yes. Before they had gas-powered lawnmowers, you had to use one of these.
That good crumple
And you
good.
keep going.
Not
You
full-
push it really hard, and those blades
But
turn.
man, that nice.
Make it really
good,
hard to
man.
cut
Boy, it
grass.
just went-
Okay.
Couldn't steer it though.
Pier dress handmade.
I got into a fight because my mother made me a shirt one time. Handmade is like 12 little stitches to 1 inch. And if you get an automatic sewing machine, you get a little more tighter stitch, but the hand stitching holds up good too. Because a man told me the shirt that I was wearing wasn't hand stitched. And I said, buddy, I sat down with my mother and I watched her stitch the whole shirt. 12 stitches to 1 inch. The older people they did a lot of work.
Now, why is this baby called Baby Buggy?
Well, that's a baby buggy.
That's what they used to look like.
Oh, I thought it was the baby's name.
No, it's the buggy.
First, I
Pick
thought
down
the
my bear.
name of the thing.
Where's my bear go?
Those people were all before my time.
Bear? What bear? Oh, the bear right here. It's playing the
Yeah, I had
piano.
another bear though.
Oh.
Huh, wonder what happened to it. This is one of the toys from the early days. I had another one in here. Oh, there he is.
There it is.
I had one of those.
This is my bear that plays piano.
Wow.
And then we had another one that had a little metal wood thing with a little piece of corn in the center, and it has 4 little chickens. And when you do this, one chick would hit the corn, this chick would hit the corn, this chick would hit the corn, this chick. And there was others. And me and a friend of mine, 20 years we went to fairs and stuff, and we showed all the wooden toys, the toys from the early 1800s, late 1700s. He just passed away last month, so.
So this another bear toy is like a
Yeah.
bear puppet.
You pull it, and it walks up at. Yeah, I had one of those when I was little.
You see who would win?
Oh! What? Whoa!
You want to try it?
Let me move this buggy back.
Record my hand.
I did. I remember when I was little, we had one of those. Pull one, then pull.
There you
There you
go.
go, buddy.
And you'd have competitions. We had another person that would have one. And we'd see who would win.
That's a crazy little puppet, isn't it?
Pretty cool, huh?
It's magic.
Did you see that bear toy in the wall? It's like a wooden bear and it walks up the wall. I had one of those.
Oh, yeah, I think I still have it. You knew who made it, didn't you?
No idea.
Ricky Wash.
Ricky Wash?
Ricky Wash.
I got mine from Blennerhassett Island.
Be careful.
I did living history.
He had 2 strings.
Yep.
You hanged him up. I think I still have it. Friend of his made it for our son when he was little.
I do living history, muzzleloader. I actually do pre-Revolutionary War, Revolutionary War. I do mountain men, fur trapper, 1790 to 1830. I do American and German World War II.
Sam, your shoe needs tied again.
Oh, poop.
So me and my son, we used to go to all the fairs and show off and muzzleloaders, toys, different things, how to start fires with flint
I
and
can't-
steel.
I don't think we have a mobile loader. We have everything else.
We used to go to Jackson's Mills, Jane Lou. I know Jackson Mills had the Civil War, but we were down by the pond. And we did that for 20 years until we decided, well, we want more crafters and people to show how they used to do things.
Tied. I'm coming for you now.
How do you keep memory in that phone?
Oh, that's mine. His is in the car. He already ran its battery dead today.
Yeah, and I still wanted to
I'm
record this
glad
place.
you said something about coming over here.
Me too.
Oh, somebody tied his shoe.
He tied it.